Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that might seem a bit dry, time tracking.
Ha! Yeah, not exactly the most thrilling topic on the surface, but stick with us.
Right, because if you're running a service, business consulting, development, design, legal, you name it, your actual product is time.
Exactly. And the way most companies handle tracking that time, well, it's often seen as just boring admin, a chore.
But what if that chore is actually the biggest hidden leak in your profitability?
That's what our source material argues today. It really dives into professional service firms and makes the case that if you can't accurately track your main inventory, your experts' hours, then, well, everything else is built on shaky ground.
Everything, like project profits, staffing plans.
Yeah, fundamentally built on maybe not a lie, but certainly guesswork, major guesswork.
Okay, let's talk scale. The sources use this great analogy. A project company is like a ship.
Right.
The crew's skilled, the destination's clear, but there's this leak below deck.
Yeah.
Hours slipping away, unaccounted for.
And it doesn't matter how well you steer then, does it? Or how valuable the cargo is.
You're taking on water.
Yeah.
And eventually, your bottom line just sinks.
It's spot on, that analogy. Because the leak isn't, a sudden explosion. It's slow, insidious.
Like just seeing margins erode and not quite knowing why.
Exactly. Persistent, unexplainable erosion. For these companies, it's not just admin failing, it's a strategic failure, a lack of basic visibility.
So we're diving in to find where maybe 10, even 20% of this crucial resource just disappears.
That's the mission. Let's find the leak.
Okay, let's unpack that. I mean, managers generally know who's working on what, don't they? So where does a chunk that big vanish?
It vanishes into what you could call the black hole of manual methods, honestly.
Still, even now.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the old ways still hanging around in so many places, spreadsheets everywhere.
Okay.
Relying on people to maybe email updates. Or, the worst one, that Friday afternoon scramble.
Oh, the recollection session.
Yeah.
I know it well. Trying to piece together Monday from Friday's viewpoint.
Exactly. Trying to remember complex tasks from days ago, it's almost impossible to do accurately.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. You worked, say, 55 hours, but the timesheet stares back at you, and you can only really account for maybe 40 with any specifics.
Oh, so what do?
You generalize. Or, let's be honest, you probably underestimate a bit just to fill it in and match that sort of expected 8-hour day target.
And that tendency, that human element of just forgetting or generalizing, that leads straight to the really critical stat our sources highlight.
For sure.
Employees can underreport between 10% to 20% of their actual work hours.
Whoa, hang on. 10 to 20%.
10 to 20%. It's not just, sloppy admin. It's a systemic issue baked into those old methods.
That's staggering. If you're running, say, a $20 million service firm, that's potentially $2 million to $4 million just gone, vanished into operational fog. Every single year.
And that's just the direct billable loss, the minimum impact. What's really key here is why it happens. It's usually not malice, right? People aren't trying to cheat the system.
So what is it then?
It's because logging the time is just inconvenient. Too many steps, too many clicks. Or maybe the project structure itself is vague.
So you don't even know where to log that time, which bucket to put it in.
Precisely. Which task? Which milestone? If the system is clunky or unclear, the path of least resistance kicks in. You generalize, you round down.
Or you forget that quick email that actually took 20 minutes of focused work.
Exactly. That stuff adds up incredibly fast across a whole team.
Okay, but if this leak is potentially so huge, this missing 10, 20%, why aren't savvy managers all over it? Don't they see the project P&Ls?
But that's the trap, isn't it? They see the project overruns financially, but they often assume it's external factors.
Like scope creep, client delays, stuff like that.
Right, market pressures, things outside their immediate control. The poor tracking system actually lies to them.
That is a lie.
It sort of validates those assumptions. It doesn't flag the internal problem, the fact that the hours weren't captured properly in the first place. So the real root cause stays hidden.
So, okay, it's not just the lost revenue from unbilled hours. It's that the bad data actively stops you from seeing the real operational cost. That's the data gap the source talks about.
Precisely. That's the real deeper cost, the blindness it imposes. If you're missing or have inaccurate data for 20% of your core operations, well, you don't really know anything for sure.
Like what? What specifically gets hidden?
You don't know if your project estimates were ever realistic, if your proposals were priced right, if your key clients are actually profitable, or if they drain resources disproportionately.
Let's break that down a bit. The hidden insights. What's the first big thing you lose?
Control over project progress. Real control. You can't see the actual effort going in versus what you plan for.
Which means your next estimate for a similar project is already flawed.
Exactly. You misprice the next job and the one after that. You're baking the error into your future pipeline because your baseline is wrong.
Okay, that makes sense. What about managing the team? Like, who's overloaded?
That's the second huge blind spot. Without accurate, granular time data, you simply can't see who's genuinely stretched thin.
Until they burn out or miss a deadline catastrophically.
Pretty much. Managers end up assigning work based on gut feel or who seems less busy rather than objective capacity data. That damages morale, leads to bad hiring decisions.
Like hiring more people when you just needed to reallocate work better based on real data.
Often, yes. Adding headcount when optimizing the existing team was the actual answer. It's inefficient.
And this all leads to the big strategic question, right? What's actually making us money?
Absolutely. If you offer, say, 3 different types of services, how do you really know which one is most profitable once you account for all those hidden hours? The admin, the rework, the quick questions.
That visibility just isn't there.
It's completely obscured. The missing data means you can't see which service lines or which types of clients are truly driving your margin. You can't pivot your strategy effectively.
You can't confidently justify headcount for the profitable areas.
Or even tell a client why their request will take X number of hours because your historical data for how long X really took last time is unreliable. It reduces strategic management to, well, expensive guesswork.
Quite an indictment of how many service firms still operate. So if poor tracking is this blindfold, this leak sinking the ship, what's the turning point? How do the top companies fix this?
They make a fundamental shift in how they think about it. They stop seeing time tracking as that annoying chore, that admin task.
And start seeing it
as their primary radar system, their most valuable source of operational intelligence, project intelligence.
Our radar. Okay, I like that. Seeing obstacles or opportunities ahead of time.
Yeah.
But how do you actually change the behavior? How do you make employees not hate logging time?
You have to remove the friction completely. The solution, as the source material lays out, is investing seriously in modern automated timesheet and project management systems.
And these aren't just fancy spreadsheets, right?
No, not at all. These are integrated tools designed to fit into the workflow to solve that inconvenience problem head-on.
Frictionless.
Oh.
How, though? Like, what does that actually look like for someone used to that Friday afternoon spreadsheet grind?
It means getting rid of that painful recollection session entirely. The best systems integrate deeply. Maybe a mobile app lets you log time against Project X while you're waiting for your next meeting.
Yeah.
Maybe it integrates with your calendar or Slack or Teams, popping up quick prompts. Did you just finish the design review for Client Y? Click Done.
And crucially, it links that time entry directly to a specific task or milestone.
Yes, granular project milestones, client deliverables, task queues. The time gets logged as the work happens, or very close to it, not days later from memory.
So make it easy, make it accurate, make it immediate. You remove the guesswork.
And when you do that, when capture is automated and accurate, the source suggests something powerful happens. Every hour tells a story.
A story of effort, progress, value. That's a big psychological shift from just filling numbers in a box.
It absolutely is. It turns time tracking from, accounting overhead into real-time business intelligence. And the benefits for managers, they become immediate and profound.
Because they're not looking backwards at failure anymore.
Exactly. They move from reacting to history to managing proactively in the now.
Okay, give me some concrete examples. What can a project lead see now with a good system that they couldn't before?
Instant clarity. Right away, they can see which projects are eating up way more time than budgeted.
Spotting the overruns early.
Yes. They can see who on the team is overloaded, not based on a feeling, but on actual hours logged against active tasks.
So you can rebalance work before someone burns out.
Precisely. Identify bottlenecks before they cause a breakdown or make a client unhappy. You're operating in real time. You intervene when a project slips 5%, not when it's already failed by 30%.
Okay, that leads us to the really strategic part. What happens when these systems, these accurate time trackers, don't just operate alone, when they integrate with broader analytics?
Now you're talking about the leap. This is where it transforms from simple reporting, here's what happened last week, to genuine predictive power.
Prediction. That's the goal, isn't it?
It really is. When you connect accurate, automated time data with wider business analytics, you shift the conversation from historical audits to actually forecasting what's coming next.
What kind of future insights are we talking about? What can these really advanced companies see?
They start to accurately predict which specific projects are genuinely at risk. Risk of missing deadlines, risk of going over budget, sometimes weeks ahead.
Wow. Okay.
Even more powerfully, they can pinpoint exactly where margins can be improved on future work
Yeah.
by analyzing historical effort on similar tasks. Maybe using a different mix of team members is more efficient. Maybe the pricing model needs tweaking based on the verified time it takes.
It sounds like optimizing the whole operation, almost like a finely tuned machine.
It's about optimizing the firm's capacity, its potential. Moving beyond just counting heads to understanding which team structures, which workflows deliver the best results, the highest efficiency. It allows for really surgical restructuring of resources and pricing.
That vision the source paints.
Mm-hmm.
The company running like a precision instrument. Total transparency, data-backed decisions.
Exactly. Management isn't drowning in spreadsheets compiled late on a Friday. They're using AI-driven dashboards, smart reports.
Turning that raw data stream of hours into clear trends, into actual forecasts.
Yes. It eliminates so much of that late-night guesswork, that constant firefighting mode many leaders find themselves in. They can actually focus their energy on growth, on innovation, because the baseline operational data is reliable and predictive.
That's a powerful shift. From bleeding profit and flying blind to using data as a strategic compass. The call to action seems pretty clear then. Seal the leak.
You have to, because those lost hours aren't just lost revenue, there are lost opportunities, lost clarity, lost potential for growth.
And the source suggests acting now, implementing these next-gen solutions.
Absolutely. They specifically mentioned expert technologies as an example of a system really built for this kind of accuracy and future-focused insight. If turning time into your most profitable, predictable asset is the goal.
That exploring tools like that is essential. We'll put their details, website, product page in the show notes for this deep dive.
Definitely worth a look for anyone in the services space.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive into the silent drain on service profitability. The core idea we pulled out today: time tracking isn't boring bureaucracy.
No, it's business intelligence, critical intelligence.
And using modern automation transforms it from an admin headache into a strategic advantage that can really drive reliable growth.
Which leads to, I think, a really important question for you listening right now.
Go on.
If your current way of tracking time might be hiding 10, maybe 20% of the real story, how much of your decision-making right now relies on that hidden fraction? I mean, setting next year's budget, planning a critical hire, pricing a major proposal. How much of that is based on solid data versus late-night guesswork and rough estimates?
What crucial decision might you be making blind right now?
Exactly, because you don't truly know where your team's most valuable asset, their time, is actually going. That lack of visibility, that's a huge systemic risk. Probably one no growing company can really afford to carry.